Everyone speaks about Corona now. Corona here, Corona there. And honestly speaking, Corona indeed changed many things, including public speaking. No, not like this. Like this. Hello everyone, my name is Zulumi, and before we start, I want to thank every single person that watched my previous video. If you still didn't, you can click here, or the link will be in the description box below. And this week's shout out goes to this comment. Corona or COVID-19 changed a lot of aspects of our life, or the way we perform some activities. And public speaking and presentation were as well influenced. No presenter has the possibility to be in front of an audience anymore. That's why many of them changed to a digital stage. From my experience as a presenter or even a student, I realized that many people cannot really go along with that. In this video, I'll present you 3 tips that will help you simply rock any online presentation. And stay tuned with me. At the end, I will give you even a bonus tip. Let's start with something that people care a lot about when they're doing presentations offline, but somehow, I don't know why, simply neglect when they're doing online presentations: the outfit. First things first, if during your presentation you're using your web camera, what people will actually see will be your top. So take care to be appropriate, which means no pajama. If your room is pretty dark or you were using this kind of chairs, I would also not recommend you to use a full dark outfit. One jacket away and you already look much more visible and classy. But bear in mind, your outfit oftentimes depends on your audience and on the topic of your conference. For example, today I had a very big exam at my university, which means that I had a plain white shirt and a black jacket on. But if I present to an audience that is more innovative and creative and I would definitely not wear a tie suit. Second tip, take care of your hardware. For some conferences it's required, for some not, but nevertheless, I would always use an external microphone. In all my online presentations, I used actually the most uncomplicated set. These are some normal earphones with an external microphone somewhere here, and sometimes you can also use some earphones just so that you hear the questions better. Of course, depending on the situation and how much you need it and the quality, you can also go for the most complicated headsets with a microphone here or a microphone here. But from my experience so far, this type worked pretty fine. As I mentioned before, some presenters are asked to use their web camera during the presentation. I personally have always used, so far, my web camera from the laptop. You can buy an external one. There are very cheap variants, there are very expensive variants. It again depends on how much you need it and how much you're ready to spend for it. But again, from my experience so far, my laptop camera worked pretty fine for this purpose. My third tip is concerning the slides. I personally don't like to use slides when doing offline presentations because the whole attention is somewhere else and I don't think it's interactive enough. But when presenting online, it's almost always required to have a slide set, and I learned to turn it into my best friend. What I already mentioned in my previous video, go check it out. The worst thing that you can do is simply read from your slides because that impacts you on so many levels. Also, try not to include too much text on your slide. But on the other side, if you have pictures, don't just throw them on the slide. Give them some description or names or something. What I personally learned to do is to transform my slides into my notes. That means that I use little icons or bullet points with a little description to that. It's good for me because I have a guidance, so I know the flow, what to say next, but also for people that are watching my presentation. They see some information, but they don't get everything from the slide. That means that they will listen to what I'm saying. If you want to find out how to create the perfect slide set, let me know in the comment section below by telling me a yes. What I really want to mention when talking about hard and software is test, check, test, check, test, and check again and again and again. If you're entering a virtual conference room, there's, I guess, nothing worse than spending the first 15 minutes of your presentation looking if your slides are working, or testing your mic, or seeing if the webcam is fine and if it shows everything. Except this time is explicitly given to you to check everything. You're simply wasting time. If you get the chance, really ask the organizers if you can check everything out before you present. And what I personally see as a sign of professionalism is if you're familiar with the program that you are using. Meaning, if you have a Q&A session, that you know how to give the right to answer to some people. You know how to activate the chat, how to deactivate the chat, how to mute some microphones from your audience, or if it's the case, how you can write some notes or activate the webcam from some participants. You don't have to be a hacker for that. And usually the organizers have a list with a step-by-step setup that you can ask for. And now the bonus tip. Although my previous tips can be classified as beginner steps, what I oftentimes miss from presenters is the energy. I was at a conference 2 years ago offline and this year online. And there was a person that held a presentation back then and this year. And I remember how amazed I was back then by the energy that she was sending into the audience. This year, I feel like a lot of people take this distance really serious and they cannot really feel the audience, meaning they simply lose from their energy and they speak like robots. I also had to take this in consideration when I started to do YouTube videos because, well, I'm also used to talk to people, but only because I talk to a camera doesn't mean that I have to talk as if I don't care. What are your experiences with online presentations? Let me know in the comment section below. And since you're there, don't forget to click like, subscribe and the bell button so that you get notified every single time when something is happening around here. Thanks for watching and see you next Monday.